Everybody get up.
It's time for the RMAC Radio Show.
There's nothing I like better than a nice, ice-cold Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
The RMAC is a proud member of NCAA Division II.
Colorado School of Mines. There you go. That's legit. They can ball. The Colorado School of Mines can ball.
Now, here's your host, Eric Danner.
It's all good. Respect.
Welcome to the RMAC Radio Show. My name is Eric Danner. Week number 4 of the RMAC Radio Show this year. Big show planned for you again today, as we'll have Marty Heaton, the head football coach at Adams State University, on in this first segment. In segment number 2, we're going to talk to Renee Lopez, the soccer coach, women's soccer coach at Colorado Christian University. The Cougars off to a great start. And then we'll talk with Brian Kortz, the sports information director / assistant athletic director at Western New Mexico, in our final segment. We start with football, perhaps the game of the week so far, game of the year so far in the RMAC, coming up this week in Alamosa. 3-0 Adams State playing 3-0 CSU-Pueblo, and we're now joined on the RMAC hotline by the head coach of the Grizzlies, Marty Heaton. Coach Heaton, how's it going today?
Doing good, Eric. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Big week for you, Coach. Obviously, with CSU-Pueblo, the number 5 ranked team, coming into town. First off, let's talk about last week's game. You had Western State come into Alamosa. Tight game, maybe closer than a lot of people might have thought. 16-14, you pull it out. Michael Carl runs a 2-yard touchdown with 5:48 to go to give you the lead. So Western State actually had the lead with about 6 minutes to go in that ball game. And Coach, after 3 games, you're 3-0, but you have a good feeling for where your team's at right now.
Well, like I said, we were 3-0, and that's the good thing. It's been a struggle at times to get there, but it's never easy. And so the kids found a way to win there at the end, and that's a sign of a good team for us. Is come up with a way to get victory when you're not playing real well. And it was a good game. It was what a rivalry game is supposed to be all about.
Talking with Marty Heaton, head football coach at Adams State University. And yeah, when the schedule flipped a year or two ago, because it seemed like you always used to play them at the very end of the year, and then you always had to start the conference season. Back when Kearney was in the league, you always started with Kearney Shadron, and that was always a tough way to start. Now you start with your rival, but I guess no time to really dwell on that, because now you got CSU-Pueblo coming into town. Coach, good news is, you're known as a defensive guy. Your defense right now playing really well, number 2 in the RMAC in rushing defense, number 1 in passing defense, number 1 in scoring defense. So that bodes well for you.
Well, we're playing a very good opponent this week, and offensively, they graduated a lot of kids, and so did we last year. They restocked pretty well offensively. The quarterback, they got kids playing very well, and they got some very talented kids on that offense. So it's going to be a real test for our defense.
Talking with Marty Heaton, head football coach at Adams State University. Coach, we had a chance to visit with you on the RMAC Showcase back in June, and at that time you had mentioned that you graduated a lot of players, and we're kind of anxious to see who was going to fill some of those slots. Now 3 games in, do you feel like you got some good, solid starters as opposed to when you first started the year?
Well, I would have liked to told you yes on that, Eric, but we got a couple kids that stepped in there, but the truth of the matter is we're still kind of trying to figure out a few spots, and one's our quarterback spot. We've kind of still rotating that around a little bit, and each kid kind of brings a different dimension to our offense, and it's kind of it's a nice problem to have, but you'd like to have one settled in a little bit more and know a little bit more where we're going to be, and so we're probably going into this game still kind of with that combination to have 2 or 3 kids kind of playing at that quarterback spot.
CSU-Pueblo at Adams State. That'll be a 6 o'clock kickoff at Rex Field in Alamosa. You want to see that one for sure if you're in that area, Coach. I mentioned number 1 in the league in rushing offense. We're seeing this real trend where, with the hurry up and the no huddle, that type of thing, which I know you wanted to implement this year. I haven't had a chance to see you play a full game yet this year. Are you able to implement that with a strong rushing game as well? That's the plan. You're trying to run that a little bit, and if you can run and still go a hurry up, you really can kind of take it to the defense a little bit. So
I think everybody in the league is trying to run some version of a hurry up. That's kind of be the thing of college football right now, is the hurry up stuff. But you still want to be able to run your offense and do what you're doing, even no matter what the tempo you're running at.
Talking with Marty Heaton, head football coach at Adams State. And Coach, I know you're very fond of your coaching staff as well. And if people look at the names, and those who follow college football around the state might recognize a few of those names, most notably Justin Holland, who was a guy who had a very good career. Kind of tell us how he wound up as your offensive coordinator.
Got Justin on staff. I guess this is his third year now on staff, and this is his first year as the offensive coordinator. And Justin had a great high school career. One of the best in the state of Colorado ever, and then went up to CSU and followed up with another great career up there. And he's a tremendous player. He's got a great mind for the game, and has done a great job kind of running our offense for us. And he's doing a great job.
Talking with Marty Heaton, another guy, at least I recognize the name, is Trevor Wickery, who a few years back made a name for himself. He was an all-conference player several years, but the thing that grabbed the national headlines was when he had his part of his finger chopped off, and he wound up playing the rest of the season. Is that how he approaches coaching too, that he'll win at all costs?
Well, I think Trevor, it's unfortunate and fortunate to kind of all at the same time, is I think Trevor's always going to be kind of known a little bit for decide to choose to cut off his finger to finish his senior year there at Mesa, and but it does tell you a lot about him, and that's just the type of guy he is. I mean, he is the same as a coach he is as was as a player. I mean, he's willing to do whatever it takes to be successful, and he's doing a great job for us coaching our offensive line.
Well, hey, Coach, I know it's a busy week for you, getting ready for CSU-Pueblo, so I want to thank you for taking some time out, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, Eric. You have a good day, too.
Hey, thank you, Coach. That is Marty Heaton, head football coach at Adams State University, and that is the highlighted game of the week. And for more on what's going to be happening this week in RMAC football, let's head over to Kia Jeffords in Kia's Corner.
Thanks, Eric. It's the game of the week when number 5 ranked CSU-Pueblo matches up against Adams State. Both teams come in with perfect 3-0 records. Kickoff is Saturday night at Rec Stadium at 6. Number 21 ranked Chadron State, now 2-1, faces Western State at Mountaineers Bowl in Gunnison. WSCU is still looking for their first win. Game starts at 1. New Mexico Highlands will have a tough matchup against Colorado Mines as the Cowboys travel to Golden to take on the Ore Diggers. Mines and Highlands are currently tied in the RMAC standings with 2-1 overall records and are both 1-0 in conference play. They start at noon on Saturday at Campbell Field. Black Hills State is still in search of their first win of the season. The Yellow Jackets travel to Colorado Mesa. It's a 1 p.m. start in Stoger Stadium for Parents Weekend on Saturday. Western New Mexico hits the road for Saturday's matchup against Fort Lewis. Kickoff is set for noon. I'm Kia Jeffords, and this is Kia's Corner.
Thank you, Kia. We had quite a week of RMAC football this past week. To get you caught up, Chadron State beat Colorado Mesa 30-24. Shea Koch, greatest tackling performance in Chadron school history. And keep in mind, they've had some great ones. Kevin Homer and Casey Barron in the RMAC Hall of Fame. They never had days like Shea Koch had this week. 23 tackles, including 1.5 for loss. That's a good enough for the RMAC Defensive Player of the Week as Chadron beats Mesa 30-24. Colorado Mines, no problem with Black Hill State 62-22. Matt Brown is the RMAC Rawlings Offensive Player of the Week, led the Ore Diggers to a school record 749 yards of total offense en route to the victory. He had 31 of 40 for 380 yards and 6 touchdowns in about 2.5 quarters of work. So Matt Brown, once again, the RMAC Rawlings Offensive Player of the Week. CSU Pueblo had another great offensive performance, 44-7. They defeat Western New Mexico to move to 3-0. They are currently ranked number 5 in the country. Adams State, as we mentioned, beat Western State 16-14 in a fourth quarter touchdown for the Grizzlies to ice it. And New Mexico Highlands beats Fort Lewis 31-20. Also want to mention Elijah Williams of Colorado Mesa is our special teams player of the week. In the loss to Chadron was a perfect 4 for 4 on field goal attempts. So another good week by Elijah Williams. That does it for RMAC football. When we come back, we're going to talk some RMAC women's soccer with Renee Lopez of Colorado Christian. You're listening to the RMAC Radio Show.